What's up, family? Welcome to another episode of the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Make sure y'all check us out on our Facebook page, also on YouTube, followed by our social media on Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast, and also on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. I'm your boy Trey Frazier. I got my brother Maestro Styles here with me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we got a special guest at the barbershop. We got the homie Moe Cheeze from Kountry Roadz Podcast on X Squad Radio, xsquadradio.com. Moe Cheeze, man, welcome to the show, man. What's good?
Yo, chilling, man. Again, blessed.
Hold
man.
on, welcome back, my brother.
Right. Yeah. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, welcome home, man. Welcome home.
Blessed. That's all I can say. Again, we talked about it a little bit offline, but just blessed, man. Hell, look, my setup didn't look like this 2 months ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
by even all of the trial and tribulations, the loss, it all was a game. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. People be like, Mo, are you like a pastor now? I'm like, nah, I'm not a pastor at all, bro. I still do what I do. I still have my flaws. I just look at life a little bit different. Like you have to.
Subtraction for addition, my brother.
Yep.
I was just about to say, Mo, you got the best setup out of the three of us, bro. Like I'm really jealous right now of what you got going on in the back there, man.
Yo, as far as the backdrop though, yo, that's all Mom Dukes, bro. That's
shout out Mom Dukes.
As y'all know, while I was gone, Mom Dukes passed last July. So I'm kind of sort of back and forth between Riverdale and Columbus now, but I kind of sort of got the shop set up down here. And this is where the dream is like, it's really flourishing, bro.
No doubt. Rest in peace to moms, man. So I want to get into sports with you, but I want you to touch on a little bit what we talked about. You and I were texting back and forth a few days ago, and then right before the show, you were talking about something that you wanted to bring awareness to as you experienced your time locked up, for about a year or so. Just kind of take us through that, and then kind of what you want to bring awareness to as a result of that.
So I was going for 2 years, and to make a long story short, I was charged with 5 felony counts, 4 first-degree charges, 1 second-degree charge. All of these counts were in regards to an incident that happened with my son. And when I say an incident that happened with my son, the facts of the matter are actually unclear. What's clear is that the day my son had his first set of shots, I went to his doctor's appointment. His mother was an hour late for those shots. She brought him to the shots. The doctor checked him out and said that he was fine. That was a lie, because we found out during the course of my trial, at that time, he actually had a broken leg and fractured ribs. So I took him home with me thinking that he was okay. But when I got home, I felt like something was wrong. And I contacted his mother. She said that, there's probably the side effects from the shots and the fact that he had to take Tylenol, or she had given him Tylenol. I took that advice, and then I called my own mother. When I called my mom kind of laughed at me and was like, hey, I know it's been 10 years in between kids, but, things don't change that much. After baby gets shots, they're kind of groggy. So I'm like, all right, I feel a little bit better after that. But even throughout the day, he never really changed. His demeanor never really changed. He didn't want to eat anything. And he was asleep, and he was up just a little bit, and he was asleep. So, kind of sort of normal baby things, but I felt like something was wrong. I take him home the next day, and I periodically check on him throughout the day. His mother's saying that he's getting better. She takes him to her son's Boy Scout meeting. They go out to eat after that, and then they go home. Around 9:30 that evening, I get a text message from her, and it's a video of him, but the video doesn't have any noise in the background. It literally shows the bottom of him. So everything that you can't see on me, it shows him. And it's like his foot is tapping. And I'm like, what is this? And she's like, he's tapping his foot to the music. And I'm like, oh, okay, odd, but okay.
Right.
2 hours later, I get a phone call and she says, hey, Makai is, and that's my son's name. She says that he's non-responsive. And I'm like, what do you mean he's non-responsive? Like 2 hours ago, he was tapping his foot to the music.
Right.
And she says he's not responding to his name being called. He's not making direct eye contact. So I say, hey, call Children's Hospital. She calls. We basically leave out. I'm leaving my house because we're not together. So we get there and they immediately take him in the ICU. And to not drag out that portion of the story, but not to belittle it, they came out and they were like, hey, where has he been for the last 24, 48 hours? So, we give them the rundown. The police want to investigate or they want to have an interview. I have an interview with the police at my home the next day. And then a week goes by and I go into the actual police precinct. I have an interview and, I leave. Of course, during that interview, like you'll see, they pretty much during the course of that interview, it was, hey, Mr. Turner, if something happened when you got home, if you got upset and you threw him down and that's what caused broken legs and broken ribs, then, we'll understand if he was crying and this, that, and the other, if you dropped him. And I'm like, the entire time is pretty much being pinned on me. But even during this interview, they show me the video and they're like, what do you have to say about this video? And I was like, what about it? And like, well, we reviewed this with the doctor and the doctor said, this is him having a seizure.
Right.
I said, okay, this video was sent to me. And they both look at each other like, oh, they're thinking I sent her the video, but actually she sent me the video. Long story short, this happens in 2015, yo. Fast forward 4 years. And when I say fast forward 4 years, in between that, there was a temporary protective order that was taken out by her. And on that paperwork, it says that DFACS was making her take out a temporary protective order or that they were going to take the child, which is illegal. Either you're going to take the child or you're not going to take the child. So we went through the whole temporary protective order. Finally, we got a judge that actually looked at the order and said, okay, do you feel like Mr. Turner is a threat to you? And she said, no. Do you feel like he's a threat to your son? No. Do you feel like he hurt your son? No. Okay, so why did you file this? Because DFACS told me I had to. No, that's it. That's illegal. We're throwing this out. So a couple months go by before our relationship reestablished where I can talk to her. Because at this point, you've taken out a temporary protective order against me.
Yeah, sir. I'm gonna let you keep going.
Like,
yeah. I legit had to stop from shedding a tear because that angers me. But go ahead.
So a couple months go by, and we get back in contact with each other, and now I'm able to see my son. But I'm seeing my son like on random basis because at this point my son is fully disabled. Like he's fully disabled. So I'm seeing him at doctor's visits. I'm going to physical therapy and stuff like that. And it was uncomfortable because of what we had been through in the last 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So now we're trying to work through some things. So, I had gotten married during the process. She didn't like Carla, although they never met. And my son's birthday comes around in 2018. And she wants to have this birthday party. My daughter's going to fly in from Texas. She has a son. My son and her daughter are the same age. So she wants my son to be able to ride a horse. Again, he's fully disabled. So in order for him to ride a horse, there has to be a speech therapist, a physical therapist, a horse trainer. Cool, I pay for everything, right? Under the assumption there's going to be me, her son, my daughter, and our son. But we show up and her boyfriend and his kids are there, his sister and kids are there, and my daughter literally feels uncomfortable. So we depart from said birthday party early because my daughter's uncomfortable. Obviously, I'm not happy at this moment. Right. So I just let her know, hey, look, as Big Boy would say, the baby is not a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? So let's
Yeah.
handle this the legal way so I can have rights to actually see my son. Until then, I can't just really be breaking you off no money. That's 2018. Fast forward 2019, y'all get arraigned on 5 charges. Now, mind you, I've never had another interview with the police from 2015.
Yeah, well, first of all, the most PC and respectful way that I could say it is thank God that you have found some sort of resolution to the situation.
Sure.
That's I could God and God bless that situation, bro. That's crazy. That's
Well, I'll
this.
wrap it up though. You know, I went to trial. I'm facing 90 years. The four first degree charges are basically saying that I caused the head trauma, or the first 2 charges.
Yeah.
The last 2 charges are saying that I broke his ribs and I broke his leg. The third charge is a second degree charge, and the third charge is saying that I knowingly didn't report a medical injury to an infant,
Right.
so it's criminal negligence.
Right.
So now put those things together. So the broken leg and broken rib happened before I even had him in my custody. So those charges I was found not guilty on. The head trauma was found out to be, hey, when this video was taken, the head trauma probably happened right before this. So those 2 charges I'm found not guilty on. The third charge, it should have been thrown out, because if I didn't cause any of these injuries or really know about the injuries, how can I be held guilty in being neglectful? So, and negligent. So I was found to be negligent, and I was given a 10-year serve too, although I had no criminal background. I wasn't given a first offender, and I wasn't even granted parole during those 2 years. Like, I could have got out. It was people in there that had charges, yo. It was people in there that had multiple charges, and they might have had 3 years. They did 9 months and they went home.
Wow, that's crazy, man. And I'll just kind of echo, Maestro's words earlier. Thank God that you're here, and that situation has found some sort of resolution to the situation. I remember going back to April 2019. I flew out to Atlanta to meet some family. My mom's lives there, and I met you for the first time personally at Microwave's house. We did the show. I remember Maestro called in. You forgot to charge your laptop, and the show just kind of went dead after that. And it was cool meeting you then. And then months later, when I found out that you had been arrested for this situation, me not knowing you that well and just only meeting you one time, that just kind of had me in my feelings. Like damn, like I just met this dude, and this dude's locked away for this situation, and not even knowing what kind of light at the tunnel we're gonna see with this. So I'm happy that you're out of the situation, and you're back, and you got a story to tell. Like Biggie said, you got some things to tell, and we appreciate that.
It definitely it changed a lot for me. I know I was big with sports, but it changed. I guess it changed the dynamic in my life to bring more awareness to things that are happening to Black people and people of color in general. And it's not just us getting killed by the police, because there's more of us getting killed by the police by being locked up in that system than we know. And it's so many people in prison for a parole violation. And I'm talking about minor parole violation infractions, where this person probably could have been off parole in 6 months, failed to report once, and now they have to serve like a 2-year sentence. Like, that doesn't really, something about that math doesn't really ride out for me. And then just the way the system is set up itself, as far as there's no growth for people that are in there for any long amount of time. Hell, for me, 2 years was long enough, but for you not to have any real programs going on in these prisons, for you not to be getting any real education, The programs are just gobbling up money. They're funneling their money by using the bed space for people that's not even supposed to be in said programs. Again, it's a long conversation, but it opened up a different avenue for different things and different people to bring into these conversations. And what I hope happens is, bringing in these different people into the conversations, it spreads the audience out into seeing great podcasts like this right here, where you can come get your sports fix. You know what I'm saying? And we have that kind of sort of bounce off each other, where we're just building toward one goal. And that's something else that I'm all for, everybody working together. I done went off on the radio about folks not promoting each other and not supporting each other. So it's just, hey man, we gotta start somewhere. If I'm not gonna put myself as the voice, but if I gotta be the voice, then let's do it. Right. I do have something funny to say, and I'll help you transition off of serious.
No. I was wondering if the Segway King over there had it.
I got you. It took for me to go to prison and for COVID to happen. And God bless my man, Kobe Bean Bryant, for the Lakers to win a championship, and then for the Atlanta Braves to win a championship, and then for my UGA the Bulldogs to win the championship.
Talk your shit, man.
Yeah, well,
talk your
I'll
shit,
say
man.
this. I'll say this. The Lakers don't look to be in much good shape to repeat anytime soon.
Let's rewind. Let's go to the last thing I talked about. Let's talk about UGA.
And we don't know when baseball coming back around.
Yeah, these billionaires versus millionaire arguments are ridiculous to me. But the players set themselves up.
Yeah, that's facts. No, for certain.
Break that down, though, Mo.
Well, I say the players set themselves up when they allowed the owners to negotiate that COVID season. And when they negotiated the COVID season down to X amount of games and they were going to X amount of pay them, then they lost time on being able to bargain. Like I'm not big on the details, but I know I can see through the bull. They lost time on being able to negotiate. They don't really have any real stake with the owners because they can't even see the owners' pockets. So by that, when I say they can't see the owners' pockets, the owners in baseball do not have to open up their books to the Baseball Player Association. So they can, quote unquote, gauge and try to do some analytical work and try to figure out where the money is, but they don't really know. So if you're an owner, why negotiate to what you want when I know at the end of the day what you really want to do is you want to play baseball and you make a lot of money anyway. So I'm not going to just pay you what you want.
Yeah, and that's interesting you said that, Mo, because I think about the NFL and how there's no guaranteed contracts. And I think about baseball where you have guaranteed contracts. The lifespan of the baseball player is much longer than the lifespan of a football player. So for me, when I look at baseball, it's like, well, y'all getting money, y'all getting these Alex Rodriguez contracts out the wazoo, y'all getting like, non-figures, and some of the best are even getting their contracts even like right after their rookie, like, a little before their rookie deals go out. Why do you think there's a problem, or why do you think there's a disconnect between baseball players and ownership?
Greedy. Yeah, I mean, it's as simple as that. Everybody's greedy. And the way baseball was set up, I mean, I can break it down to this analogy. Folks don't want to say baseball racist, right? So check this out. A pitcher can be on the mound. He can beam a player. Right?
Yeah.
So if he beams this player and the player is black, most of the pitchers are white, right?
Yeah.
You agree? So if he beams this player, the player is not supposed to do anything, right? So if he beams him, this is an unwritten rule in baseball. because whatever he did. So now if the player reacts, if it's a white player that got beamed and the white player reacts, they're gonna call it a dust up, right?
Right.
But if it's a black player and the black player reacts, what are they gonna call it?
Fucking fight.
Yeah.
It was a melee.
Yeah.
It was a melee. So it, and I hate to bring it to that, but it's still a matter of control.
Hey man, I love to bring it to that.
It's a matter of controlling the game. And baseball is like all these other sports. It's pretty much slavery. You have a talent, you can work for me, but we have the money to be able to put on the product, and we have the infrastructure to be able to televise this. And I think the players have gotten so stupid and so greedy that they don't understand that if we just say, hey, you know what, fuck this, and maybe the baseball players, maybe they saying fuck it right now. If they finally say fuck it, at some point, the owners are going to have to come back and renegotiate back to what is closer to being fair.
Yeah. Well, I say this in rebut to greed, and I agree with you 100%. I think I think the players are greedy because they don't see the bigger picture. They see the millions of dollars that's going to their family immediately, and it's hard to call it greed, but if you're talking about in the confines of starting your own infrastructure where it's a little fair towards the owners, a little more fair towards the owners and the players, speaking to that goal, I can see how somebody would call it greed. And obviously the rich want to stay rich, so their infrastructure is in place for the rich to stay rich. It's just that never ending, I guess, issue that's going to constantly be going on in the world as long as us as a people and when I mean people, not black people specifically, but players and those that are not in power positions, so to speak, until we decide, you know what, maybe we take a little less money to do something that we're more in control of. The fact of the matter is that we make deals with people in power, and then those deals put us in position to not be able to grow as an empire.
You want to know what it boils down to? It's just like this, man. Baseball players, even though they make a whole lot more money than us, they did all of these players are having the same argument that we have if we work 9 to 5. It'd be a whole bunch of people that's working at 9 to 5, and they sit there and they complain about not making enough money. There's a boss that you can complain to all you want to. They're not going to do shit because they're not even the owner of the company, and the owner of the company is not even really hearing your individual voice. It's not going to be until everybody in that office gets up and says, you know what, we ain't making no calls today. You know what I'm saying? We're not making no calls today, and we ain't making no calls until somebody, addresses our issues. I guess this is what these arguments are, but I would just say the Players Association to me also drops the ball in this point for the players because they're supposed to be the representation of the players. Why do these people, and I'm calling you these people, you rich these people, why do you wait until an agreement ends to renegotiate it? If you leasing an apartment or renting an apartment, you're gonna make the decision before the lease runs out on whether you're gonna move or not, right?
Yeah, facts. Yeah,
because they're gonna send you a letter and they're gonna say, "Hey, look, the rent has increased by $50. You got 6 months or you got 3 months to make this decision, or you need to let us know within 30 days beforehand." It seems like they don't even have any communication in regards to it beforehand.
Well, I'll say this. My stance on that is that the Players Association works for the league and not for the players, and I don't care what is said about it. It's like working for a record label and then getting your lawyer from somebody that works at the record label. That's just what that situation is. So it's like you go to a job and then they tell you, hey, join the union, but the union was contracted by the employer. So of course they sitting in those offices and saying, hey, we'll allow this, but we won't allow this. We'll allow this, but we won't allow that, because that would have them gain a type of power that we don't want them to have. You know what I'm saying? So it's the issue is that we won't go outside. We go get into a job, and this goes from McDonald's employee all the way up to NFL or baseball player. We get into that infrastructure, and because that infrastructure gives you everything that they say you're supposed to have within a job, you take it because they give it to you right there. It's convenience. You don't have to go look for a different union that might work better in your favor. You don't have to look for a lawyer that might work better in your favor because they're going to just lay it all out there right there for you. And it's a convenience game, man. One thing us as a people love is convenience.
That's why we be at the fast food joint instead of going to the grocery store buying mass groceries and cooking.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah. Hey, man, we got a few minutes left here, Mo. I just want to congratulate your teams on bringing some championships to the state of Georgia. I see you got your national championship shirt on right there, and like you said before, you know the Braves won the World Series back in October. Does this erase 28-3 in your mind? Does that kind of
Thank you for bringing it up. And we got 5 minutes left, so sum it up.
Does that erase the pain of 28-3, bro?
It does. Honestly, it does.
Wow.
It doesn't mean that 28-3 didn't happen. It doesn't mean it didn't happen, but it's more like that scar that you know that's there, but it's blended in so much over the years you can't really tell unless you really, really look at it. You guys just really, really look at it. We don't look at it anymore. It's not that ugly blemish to us no more. You know, y'all know what I'm talking about. You had that one incident where you was like, I'm gonna be ugly for life. And then it just kind of sort of went away. And you was like, okay, I mean, you can't really even tell I did that no more. So 28-3 happened, but so much has happened since. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
you so damn mature.
I was gonna say, because
you so mature.
That's in the history books, bro. Like that's.
I mean, such as everything.
Here's what do it. So since Maestro is calling for it, here's what erases it. The fact that we beat fucking Alabama and Nick Saban punk ass is what fucking does it. That's what does it. It's like who gives a fuck? Tom Brady beat everybody ass. He just so happened to pull off some amazing shit against us, but he pulled off amazing shit against other people.
He ain't come back.
Damn near everybody.
Yeah. The dude just won a Super Bowl at home. You know what I'm saying? He just switched teams and won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
No, y'all had that game won though. I ain't gonna front. Y'all had. I mean,
I would love to say that they had it won, but they didn't. So,
but
they did until they didn't.
And then I guess the sexy, beautiful part that made it all come together is the fact that you had the Braves win, and then you had Georgia win right behind it. So it's you know, I'm saying you put them two good things and that little piece of salami in between it. You know what I'm saying? That the salami is the nasty shit, which would be the Tom Brady shit. But you put those two great things around that salami. It don't taste as bad no more, bro.
Nah, and because I was just getting ready to say I don't eat salami, so that made sense to me. That made fucking sense to me, man. I like that.
See, you get you a buttery sweet brioche.
You cooking right now, Mo. I ain't gonna hold you. You cooking right now.
You can't.
You definitely cooking.
You don't even taste the salami no more.
Man, you did that, bro. I can't even hold you, man. I can't even hold you on that one. That was a great fucking analogy, man. Look, I wonder if everybody in Atlanta has that advanced of a thought.
I really doubt it. They are still killing the Falcons right now, Brad. But I want to see what they're gonna do. Like I said, you know, we got a new GM. You really can't base his worth until year 3. So you can look at the last 2 drafts prior to and be like, I don't like all the picks, but I mean, Kyle Pitts is a stud, man. I think it's time to move on from Matt Ryan. I don't think that's going to happen this year, and I pray that they do not extend his contract out again to try to gain some cap space. No way, no how. They can't trade Grady, and I don't know what's up with Calvin Ridley, bro.
With respect though, Mo, he left the game for mental health, and anytime a person's got to deal with mental health, I got to just sit back and respect that.
Here's my thing though. The Falcons wrote this situation out with him. You know, I listened to Atlanta radio. They didn't let anything get out as to what the situation was. And nobody even knows still what was really going on with him. They just knew that there was something going on with him and they wrote it out. So for, I guess, it to now seem like, okay, I'm over that and I'm ready to play. I just don't want to play for the Falcons. It's like, okay, like when did that relationship dissolve? Like, I'm trying to figure that part out.
Oh, so basically he Naomi Osaka job.
I'm just saying. To me, again, don't put no words in.
And respect.
This is my personal opinion as a fan. What I saw is he didn't like some of the decisions that got made during the draft. He didn't feel like the team was going to go nowhere. And maybe that pressure built up and that became part of whatever else he had going on. Yeah. But then as the player, he didn't man up and get back out on the field.
Yeah. And that affects your mentals.
As the fan, I have a small problem with that. Get yourself together, brother. But as the fan, to now be like, I'm ready to play, but I don't want to play in Atlanta.
Yeah.
What? You don't want to play in Chocolate City?
That is so disrespectful. And I get that y'all really are Chocolate City now. I'm just saying that's disrespectful. That is so
I had to do it.
It's really not, but hey Mo, go ahead and plug your show and tell us what you got coming up.
Yo, make sure you check out the Kountry Roadz Experience Tuesdays on xsquadradio.com. You can also check it out on countryroadz.com. I also 2 shows on Tuesday, so 10 a.m. in the morning, 10 p.m. in the evening. So coming up shortly, I'll be on X Squad Radio. It's a long story. Basically, that's a show with me and my homeboys from college. Yo, and we just sit there and chop it up about all kind of craziness. So tune in. It's definitely grown folks. So do not bring your kids to the show. Hell, my wife got to tune out sometime.
Hey, that's what's up. Now, hey man, I appreciate you, bro. It's good to hear you, man. It's good to see you in good spirits. And the Falcons got a long road ahead of them.
It is what it is, man.
And so do your Lakers.
Yeah.
I'm going out.
Don't add that. See, that's how you stretch a conversation right there. That's how you do it right there.
I'm going out there on the 22nd. I'm gonna kick it with D Greatest. I'm going to the Lakers versus Philly game on the 23rd. And at this point, I'm mad I paid what I paid for these tickets because I'm just like, they suck. They suck. But to see, I guess, Philly and Harden and Joel on the floor, it should be worth it. And we got media passes, so we get to go in 2 hours early and we get to the press joint afterwards. So can't beat that. And like I said, life has gone banana crazy right now. And I feel like the trip to LA, when I come back from LA, I'm gonna be on something different. Because when I see that Hollywood, I'm gonna be like, let's go.
Fact.
No doubt.
All right, bro. You be safe, man.
All right, peace, man.
All right, peace.